Hey everyone, if you like our content and want to help us grow our channel, you can support us on Patreon, where you also get exclusive behind the scenes content. Otherwise, follow us on these social media platforms where you can help support us. A little goes a long way. Enjoy the rest of this video. Good evening everyone, and welcome to another Nonocat review. Tonight we'll be looking at quite a unique item. This is the Acetech Lighter BT. So it is a cross between a chronograph as well as a tracer unit. So this particular unit can also light up red BBs, which not every tracer unit can do. So these are red glow-in-the-dark BBs, and it can also function with your normal green glow-in-the-dark BBs. Now this unit is also a chronograph, and you can link that by Bluetooth to your smartphone, and this supports iOS as well as Android. So let's take a look into the actual item. So inside the box we've got a nylon sort of fabric bag, so it looks really cool. It's got the orange accent on black. Acetech always had some really nice packaging, and nonetheless here. So inside the box we've got the tracer unit as well, or tracer chronograph unit, as well as some accessories. And inside the bag there's another pouch that actually holds the unit itself. So very nice nylon bag actually. Looks really good actually. So let's open that and have a look. So this is the Lighter BT, and it is a very compact unit for what it does. So you know, it doubles as a chronograph as well as a tracer. And let's do a size comparison. So here we have their Predator Mark II, Mark III. So it is actually smaller than that, and diameter wise I think it's a little bit smaller as well. And we've got the Bifrost here. It is just a little bit bigger than the Bifrost itself. So the Lighter BT is a very compact unit. And let's take a look at the bag. So the pouch they gave is very convenient. You can actually basically hook it here. Otherwise you could actually attach this onto your plate carrier or a belt itself. So very convenient pouch to have. What that allows you to do is actually take that Lighter BT onto a field without attaching it to your airsoft gun, and just having it basically on the belt or on the carrier only when you need to use it. So you know, scenarios like that would be for night games where you don't need to attach that in the morning. So when when it gets to nighttime and you want to run that tracer unit, you can just pop that on. So inside the bag we have the other accessories, such as the charging cable. So this is a micro USB, and we've got all these different attachments. So on the unit itself, it already has one, and it does come in. Let's have a review here. So it comes with a M16 Plus, which is this one here. So this is for the KWA Crisp Vector GBB specs. I'm not quite sure what other units actually run this. So you can see it actually says M16 Plus on it. So that's quite cool. So they are actually labeled. This includes the other ones as well, such as we've got the M14 positive. So that is for your GMP or WA systems, or you know, quite a few airsoft guns that actually take the positive 14 mil clockwise thread. And here we have the M11 Plus, which is an 11 mil. So this is a male thread to go onto a female. So you usually find these on pistols like the WE and ArmorWorks pistols. So you can attach that directly on there. So let's give that a try. So the M14 negative, which is the 14 mil counterclockwise, is actually already attached on. But to actually swap it out, all you need to do is actually turn this ring right here. That comes off, and you could just pull that off, and you can see that's the on-off switch. So we'll just pop that on. Just sits on, ring goes on top, and we have attached that on. And basically it's one button to activate. So you just press that button once, and you can see that green light, and then you should be able to connect that with your smartphone with the Acetech app. So in the front, let's remove that. So in the front, it reviews the charging port. So this unit does come with a additional front cover. So the front covers are actually different. So what we had on there was a plastic front cover, whereas the other one that was inside the box is a metal one, aluminum one. So you can see here that it's not compatible with the Bluetooth. So if you're using the metal one, I don't think they recommend using it with the chronograph. So if you want to chronograph this, probably swap to the plastic cover, and then when you want to use the tracer unit in the game, swap with the aluminum one, because that would be more durable than plastic in case it gets shot. Other than that, I think that's it for the unboxing. You know what, let's just charge that up and bring it down a few, give it a chrono and see what it does. Alright, so let's take a look here. So we just did 6 shots down into the target there. We'll show you a bit on that app. So the Acetech app is pretty useful actually. So we can see on the number here, we've got 6 shots. And when we press that button, we'll see the timing that it's sort of, you know, what time the shot was taken while the app was on. We left it running since we're recording, blah, blah, blah. In any case, let's put on numbers because I like that. And then the second option here, we have the rounds per second. So that shows you the rounds per second, and we were actually doing it in semi-auto, but it's still chronographed it. So I'm doing about 6 to 5 rounds per second on semi. You can actually click that and go into rounds per minute. So fairly simple feature. The third option, we've got feet per second or meters per second. As you guys can see, the feet per second is around 297 to 300. The good thing is you can also get an average, maximum as well as a minimum right here. You can you know, have a look at that. And we're using 0.25, so I've actually set the ammo here. Then joules and feet to pounds, and then joules to centimeters squared. I'm going to be really honest, I have no idea what the other two are, but we'll just flick it to joules, which I'm familiar with. So, you know, with using 0.25 gram BBs and with those feet per second, we're looking at, you know, 1.02 to about 1.05 in terms of joules. So pretty useful app here. We go into the settings, we can set the ammo. I've already preset them, so for ammo 1, 0.2, then I use 0.25, 0.28, 0.3s, 0.32s, and 0.4s. So once you've set that on, you can actually click on this button here to set those ammo count, so you get the accurate joule rating. So on the top here, it says speed with a little lever. If you swap that, that goes into tracer mode. So when you turn on the lighter BT, it actually starts off in tracer mode, and in order to use it with the chronograph, you actually have to click on this, and it will say turn on speed measurement. The tracer function will be turned off. Let's look at the bottom here. We've got the save button, which saves your data actually, and then if you just click on it, you can input a name and save that. The second one is to delete all data, and the third one shows you a graph, basically with the number of shots versus your rounds per second versus your feet per second, or even meters per second in that instance. So I have no idea how to use this graph. For those who might, you know, understand it better, it could be pretty useful, but I'm happy with this sort of data. The next one would be your save file. So as you guys can see, we've, you know, done a few tests and saved them here. Then you get a calculator with your device here. So the good thing about the calculator is you can actually you know, see what sort of FPS or what joules it's doing, depending on what your test is. So for example, if let's say I'm using 0.25, and rather than using joules, my fuel might be using, let's say, feet per second as a limit. So I want to know if this particular unit, this particular replica is actually over the 350 FPS limit for CQB, then I can actually just take that and then calculate it by joules. You know, it's sort of like a little calculator with that feature. Quite helpful. You've got your shop, which we are not linked right now, and I think it's quite a fairly simple app. You know, trace a function. Let's see what that does. Oh, okay, so you can swap from green to red traces with this particular setting here. Turn on power saving mode, you know, self-test. It can even count the shots you've done. So we've done 484 shots. Quite an easy app to use, and this app is actually very easy to set up. Let me show you really quick right now. So we can even see the battery of the lighter BT here, but let's turn that unit off. So it's just a little button on the side here. Okay, see if that refreshes even. So it's been disconnected. Should remove it from that list. All right, so the unit's off. Let's turn that on. So let's turn this unit on. So there should be just one button once again, and it should technically just pop up on the app device when it finds it. There, easy. And then once you click into it, you should be able to see that the settings are still there. Oh, this one's already in Chrono settings. Awesome. All right, so fairly easy to use app. Okay, so we're gonna do some semi rounds, 6 shots, 2 each, and then we're gonna do a bit of full auto. Let's give it a go. Ready when you are? Okay. Let's see what the app shows. So that's quite a bit of shots actually. We've done 37 rounds in that short period of time. Really useful to gauge, gauge if you're, how many rounds you'd be doing, like let's say in a training. So for example, if I left this on during a training session, I can see how many rounds I've done through that training. So that's pretty useful to see. And as you guys can see here, the minimum rounds per second is 3.8. I'm gonna assume that's me and semi. And the maximum is 12.9 rounds per second. And we're using, I think, 7.4 volts LiPo. But you can also see the minimum FPS. We're doing about 397 on minimum, and on the highest it's 306 FPS. So it's about 10, 11 FPS in terms of deviation. Not too bad, but on average, what we want to see is this here, 300, 306, 303, 300. So I think on average, 300, 300, 300. We had 2 that dropped to 297. Could be a bit of oil in the barrel or bucking. Maybe we can check that and clear that. But ideally, it's within that 10 FPS deviation with most of the shots. That's pretty cool. So very useful app, very useful unit to actually run with. And of course, it does trace around. Will be really fun on traces. So we're out of the studio and we're here to have some fun. I'm here with my Marui Recce and my Marky, and we're just going to give a go on the Acetech Lighter BT and try out the 2 functions that it has. So one is the tracer unit, one is the chronograph. Let's get into it.
I lost all feeling from my head to my toes. You said some shit that I can't let go, so just stay tuned for the rest of the show. So have you ever felt betrayed? Switches how you see things, realize something needs change. Cause I know you got me up, let me show you what's up. Cause enough is enough. I'll take a face full of pavement just to make a statement. I know there's no turning back. Oh God, adrenaline wasted, so mad I can taste it. I know there's no turning back. I'll do what it takes, I ain't making mistakes like that. I'll bleed on your face to make you go take it back.
Alright, that was really cool and really fun. Let's conclude this video. So first question to ask, is it ready out of the box? So yes, this unit does come with a lot of adapters, a lot of accessories. We've got the pouch, basically carry-on pouch that you could bring anywhere. It comes with another pouch which carries all your accessories, so you could literally take this entire unit out as such. It does come with your standard 14mm clockwise and counterclockwise threads, as well as your 11mm threads. So you should be able to find that this covers most of the airsoft guns out there, including your rifles and your pistol. So the unit does come with rechargeable batteries in there. So it's a LiPo battery that's in there that supports up to 30,000 shots of use. So you know, everything is there. The Bluetooth is in there, so all you need to have is your smartphone with you in order to use that chronograph. It does come with the charging cable and whatnot. So out of the box, this unit, you know, is very convenient, and you're basically getting a chronograph as well as a tracer. So second question, who's it for? You know, what sort of people would use this? So if anyone loves, you know, tinkering with the airsoft guns, upgrading them, swapping parts out constantly, I think this is very convenient because you could keep that attached to your gun as you swap out things and just, you know, constantly testing it. Let's say if you want to test out a bucking for consistency, it's really good to have that on while you're gradually increasing that as well. So if you have multiple airsoft guns as well, and let's say you can't test it at home, you have to test it out at the range. This is a very compact unit that you can bring out and test that. So very convenient to have. It actually doubles as a tracer as well. So for those who want a chronograph as well as a tracer unit, this might be more budget friendly as opposed to buying two separate units for that matter. So that is really very convenient as well. Now on to our third question. You know, does it serve its purpose? I think absolutely. So for the multiple tests we've done, you know, the readings have been really consistent, and I think one of the reasons that I like this unit is it's actually muzzle mounted as well directly. So as opposed to the conventional chronographs, where you have to find the angle of aligning your barrel to the chronograph, sometimes it gets a bit finicky to work with, and we've seen a lot of people actually shoot out the sensors on those units. Whereas with this lighter BT, because it's directly mounted onto the muzzle itself, you wouldn't have to worry about that too much. I think the only thing you have to worry about is make sure that hop-up isn't too off. So once that's done, I think this unit, it actually works really well as a chronograph. In fact, we're finding more use with this than a conventional chronograph because, you know, as opposed to testing it twice, we can just do a semi-auto test as well as a chronograph test at the same time. So that is very convenient. Now, as a tracer, it does what it's supposed to do. It illuminates the BBs, the glow-in-the-dark BBs very well, and it is, you know, no bigger than a standard tracer unit or a standard suppressor. So it really serves its purpose. So that's really cool. So you know, the final verdict, would I recommend this? Absolutely. You know, from months of testing this product, we are very impressed by it. Once again, you know, Acetech has always brought, you know, very cool products into the airsoft community. It's very innovative, and you know, nonetheless with the lighter BT, I think it's fantastic because of its compact size as well as its chronograph feature. You know, we hope to see more innovative products like this from Acetech, and I think that's about it. Let's end this video here. So I hope you guys enjoyed. This is Nonocat, that's Thunder Spear, and we hope to see you in the next video. At the Acetech Lighter BT, it is a cross between a chronograph and a tracer. Chronograph, chrono, because it's Bluetooth, and you can actually just review it on your phone. Good evening, everyone, and it's Nonocat here with my Marui.